just going to look at the change in these prefixes when you say I, you, we, they, etc. So when you say I, the prefix to use is ndi. Ndi. So when you see NDI, that is ndi. In IsiXhosa, ndi. Da 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 da. Whatever that you are going to say, I am doing this, I that, ndi. And then when we use the prefix you in the beginning of the word, on which in IsiXhosa, the sound of that will depend. Are you speaking about you? Are you saying you? Or are you saying she or he? So it's the same prefix you, but the tone of your voice is what's going to differentiate between she or he, or you're saying you. For example, let's look at how to say you. So you is u. U. That is you. For example, uyaphi, where are you going? That's what that means. Where are you going? Uyaphi. So that is you. Now take note of the difference. Now I'm going to ask, where is she or he going? Take note of the difference in the pitch of my voice, in my tone. Uyaphi. Did you notice that now it's a bit higher than when we say uyaphi, referring to you, saying where are you going? So it is uyaphi, where is she or he going? And there is uyaphi, where are you going? So IsiXhosa, yes, is a tonal language. So sometimes it's just the tone of your voice that could completely change the word to mean something that you didn't want to say. So we need to work on our tone. Make sure that we are using the correct tone when we are speaking. So u, which is lower pitched, is you, and u, which is higher pitched, is she or he. Now I say she or he because we don't have gendered pronouns in IsiXhosa. So we don't have she, he, him, her. We don't have that in the Xhosa language. We say u when we're speaking about she or he or her or him. So u or u, right? That's the prefix when you're speaking about you or she or he. Okay, what is the prefix when you are saying we? We. So we, the prefix is si. You could have guessed that because we did siyaphila in the last section. Siyaphila, we are well. So si is the prefix to use when you're saying we. We are well. Siyaphila. Next prefix, ba. Ba meaning they. They. Ba. So when you say ba, bayaphi, for example, bayaphi, where are they going? And the prefix ni is for you all. You all. Niyaphi, for example, where are you all going? Niyaphi. When speaking about objects or animals, we will use the prefix I. Inja, ikati. I can also be used for verbs, like when describing what a person does, what is being done, what a thing is like, or what a person is like. You can use I. For example, a policeman will say ipolisa. A lazy person will say ivila. A girl, we say intombazana. A boy, we say inkwenkwe. So we also use the I prefix in that way. The prefix u is used when we're speaking to humans, but we also use it for nouns such as a tree, for example, we say umti. The sea, we say ulwandle. The river, we say umlambo. So nouns, we definitely use u when speaking about nouns. So now let's get a bit practical. You can pause this video from time to time just so that you can try to see if you can actually remember, and then when you feel you need help, play the video. Okay, so thinking about these prefixes, let's look at the first prefix, ndi. I'm going to give you the first sentence where I use the prefix ndi, and please try by yourself and see if you can use the prefix u and see if you can use the prefix ba, si, ni, right? So the word is hamba. Hamba means go. Hamba, leave, go. So if you are the one that's going or that's leaving a place, the sentence is I am leaving. I am leaving. And it's a IsiXhosa that will be ndiyahamba. Ndiyahamba. Right? Ndiyahamba. I used the prefix ndi. I am leaving. So what would be you are leaving? Now think of the tones. The high pitched tone is when you're speaking about she or he, and the lower pitched is you. So if you're saying you are leaving, how would that sound? So think about it. All right, so uyahamba, uyahamba, lower pitched, uyahamba. And she or he is leaving would be uyahamba, uyahamba. So the U would be high pitched. Uyahamba. All right. So what would be they are leaving? They are leaving. Bayahamba. Bayahamba. And we are leaving. Siyahamba. Siyahamba. And you all are leaving is niyahamba. Ndiyahamba. Uyahamba. Uyahamba. Siyahamba. Bayahamba. Niyahamba. And if we were saying it is leaving, we would say iyahamba, because it, we use mainly the prefix I. Iyahamba. Here's another one. To eat. To eat in IsiXhosa is ukutya. Ukutya, to eat. Right? So if you were saying I am eating, what would you say? Using the correct prefix, which is, I'm sure you're thinking of it, ndi. Ndiyatya. Ndiyatya. That's how you'd say I am eating. Ndiyatya. And if you were saying you are eating, that would be uyatya. I'm sure you're thinking of that. Uyatya. And if you're saying she or he is eating, uyatya. Uyatya. And you know what? Just to get the high pitch, you can even raise your chin just a bit to get that high pitch out. Uyatya, right? She or he is eating. And they are eating is bayatya. 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 And we are eating siyatya. Siyatya. And you all are eating niyatya. Niyatya. And if a dog is eating or a cat, we'll say iyatya. Iyatya. On the note of our prefixes, let's just do a bit of our tenses. This is not all the tenses, but it will help you understand quite a bit. But for this one, we're just going to do our present tense, our recent past tense, and our future tense. Okay. You might not have noticed, but we already did a bit of present tense sentences with the sentences that we used as examples, and we're going to use those exact same sentences so that you can get familiar with the same sentences, and hopefully you'll be able to remember these tenses easily through using them. Okay, we are going to look at, for example, a sentence that we used. I am leaving. That sentence was in the present tense. But now the question is, what makes it present tense when looking at ndiyahamba? Ndiyahamba. What makes it a sentence of the present tense? So in the Xhosa language, normally we'll have prefixes, we'll have a root, and we'll have a suffix. So we might have one prefix or two, the root and the suffix. Okay, or sometimes a word will have one prefix, a root, and a suffix, or it will have two prefixes and a root. So depending on what you're saying and whether it's in the present tense, past tense, or future tense. Okay, so let's look at this word, ndiyahamba. So there's two prefixes in this word. There's the ndi that we know is I, and then there's the second prefix, ya. Ya shows that this is happening now. That is how we see that this sentence is in the present tense because of ya. Ya shows that the sentence is in the present tense. I am leaving. It doesn't necessarily translate to am. Your English sentence, if it's in the present tense, doesn't matter if it's I am or we are. In IsiXhosa, it will remain ya. So that's why that just shows that this sentence is in the present tense. So this word ndiyahamba has two prefixes and it has a root word, hamba. Ndi, ya, hamba. Two prefixes and a root, right? So the ya is what shows that this is in the present tense. Let's have a look at another example that we did use, ndiyatya, meaning I am eating. It's something I'm currently doing now. This word also has two prefixes and it has a root word, tya, for eating. Ndiyatya. Let's have a look at another word, sebenza. Sebenza is to work. Sebenza. So I am working. Ndiyasebenza. Ndiyasebenza. That sentence is in the present tense. Ndiyasebenza. Let's look at another word, goduka. That means go home. I am going home. It is ndiyagoduka. Ndiyagoduka. Right? Ndiyagoduka. That sentence is in the present tense. Something that's happening now. I am literally going home now. Okay, so now let's use these exact same sentences just in the past tense. Okay, so the first one, I am leaving, which is in the present tense, ndiyahamba. Let's have a look at what this sentence would look like in the past tense. So I left. Ndihambile. 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 That is in the past tense, and that is recent past in the long form. Recent past in the long form. I'm going to show you guys what the short form looks like in a few. Ndihambile. Right, so what does this one have? Has a prefix, one prefix, ndi. Which is the root word, and it has a suffix, ile. So what in this particular sentence shows us that this is in the past tense? Ile. I'm sure you could see that. Ile is the suffix that helps us realize that this sentence is in the past tense. Ndihambile. I left. Ndihambile. And how would we say I ate? So we know the present tense for I am eating is ndiyatya. I ate. Ndi plus root plus suffix. Ndityile. Ndityile. I ate. Let's have a look at the word sebenza, which is work. We said the present tense is ndiyasebenza. What will be that exact same sentence just in the past tense? Let me give you a second. Ndisebenzile. Ndisebenzile. That would be the sentence in the past tense. Ndisebenzile. Ndi is our prefix. Sebenz, root, ile, suffix. Ndisebenzile. Our last sentence here, goduka, meaning go home. Present tense said, I am going home. Ndiyagoduka. What will be that sentence in the past tense? Ndigodukile. Ndigodukile. So that is our recent past tense and is the long form of recent past tense because of the suffix ile. Let's look at the short form for past tense. So instead of ndigodukile, it would be ndigoduke, but that is incomplete by itself. Since we have to complete the sentence by saying whether I went home at this specific time or I went home to wherever I went home to. So we need to add something onto that sentence and complete the sentence. So ndigoduke ngo-12. That's how we will complete that sentence. Ndihambile. Ndihambile. That's the long form. If we take it to short, ndihambe, but we need to finish it. We need to complete the sentence. Ndihambe and went to da 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 da. Ndihambe ndaya e. Let's say you're saying, I went to the shop. Ndihambe ndaya evenkileni. Venkile is shop in IsiXhosa. So the short form by itself is incomplete. You need to add on to that and complete the sentence by saying where it is you went or what time you went or whatever you are trying to say, but just make sure that you complete the sentence. You don't use the short form by itself. So this works the same way. If you say ndisebenze, then you must add maybe I worked on something. So ndisebenze kwi da 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 da. You add what it is that you were working on, or I worked till late. Ndisebenze kwada kwahlwa. I worked till late, or just add something onto that to complete your sentence. Whatever it is that you were talking about, or wherever you went, you were going, when you left, you need to add that on there. Nditye, coming from ndikile, long form. The short form will be nditye, but you must say now, what did you eat? Nditye isonka, maybe. I ate bread. Nditye isonka. Isonka is bread. But complete your sentence. Don't leave your sentence hanging and incomplete. Your long form, though, is a complete sentence if that's all you were trying to say. Ndikile, if you just wanted to say I ate, full stop, you will use your long form, ndikile. If you just wanted to say I worked, full stop, ndisebenzile. I went home, full stop, ndigodukile. I think you get the point. Yes, you can add on to the long form, but you don't need to. But the short form, on the other hand, is an incomplete sentence if you don't add onto it. Let's quickly move on to our future tense. I will leave. Ndizohamba. Ndizohamba. The second prefix is zo. Ndizohamba. So I will leave. Ndizohamba. So when you're going to do something, uzo yenza, you're going to do it. Ndizohamba, I will leave. I will work. Ndizosebenza. Ndizosebenza. So there's no ya in that word and there's no ile, because we're not talking about the present or the past tense. We're talking about the future tense. So zo is the only other prefix that needs to be there. Ndizosebenza. I will eat. Ndizotya. Ndizotya. I will go home. Ndizogoduka. Ndizogoduka. All right, so right now we did the past, present, and future tense using the first prefix ndi. Can you please pause the video and write what would be these exact same sentences, but using u for you and u for she or he. Use the prefix ba for they. Use the prefix si for we. Use the prefix ni for you all. And use the prefix I for it. Use these prefixes to create these exact same sentences. So instead of saying I ate, say they ate, you all ate, and it ate. Please do take your time and try to figure these sentences out.